Sister Wives Robyn Brown breaks down when asked about an ex-wife returning to family. Hope is dangerous. Hello friends, welcome to the Daily Gossip News Update. I'm Olivia and I hope you're well by God's grace. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. In a raw and tear-filled moment that has left Sister Wives fans reeling, Robyn Brown, the fourth and now only legal wife of Kody Brown, completely broke down when directly asked whether she would ever want one of Kody's former sister wives, Christine, Janelle, or Meri, to return to the plural family. Fighting back sobs, Robyn delivered a heartbreaking line that has quickly become one of the most quoted moments of the current season. Hope is dangerous. The emotional exchange took place during the latest one-on-one tell-all special hosted by Sukanya Suki Krishnan. For years, viewers have watched the once-united Brown family fracture into pieces, with Christine leaving in November 2021, Janelle separating in December 2022, and Meri finally confirming her departure in January 2023. Kody and Robyn are now monogamous by default, living in a quiet Flagstaff home while the other three women have moved on with their lives. Christine engaged to David Woolley, Janelle embracing single life, and Meri traveling the world and running her bed and breakfast. Suki's question was simple but loaded. Do you ever hope that one of the other wives would come back? Robyn immediately began shaking her head, tears welling up before she could even form words. After a long pause, she whispered, I can't answer that. When pressed gently by Suki, Robyn's composure shattered. Through heavy sobs, she managed, Hope is dangerous. It really is. Because I hoped for years and it just hurt every time. The studio audience and viewers at home could feel the weight of nearly a decade and a half of complex family dynamics pouring out in that single sentence. For years, Robyn has been portrayed by some fans, and occasionally by the other wives themselves, as the favorite wife who slowly pushed the others out. Yet in this moment, she appeared genuinely devastated by the permanent loss of the plural family she once believed she was joining. I came into this family because I believed in plural marriage, Robyn continued, wiping tears with a trembling hand. I loved my sister wives. I still love them. But every time I allowed myself to hope that things could be fixed, that we could all come back together, it just ended in more pain. So I had to stop hoping. I had to protect my heart. Kody, sitting beside her, remained stoic for most of the exchange, but even he appeared shaken by the intensity of Robyn's emotions. When Suki turned to him and asked if he shared Robyn's fear of hope, Kody gave a response that stunned many longtime viewers. I don't hope anymore either. I'm done chasing people who don't want to be here. The exchange has reignited the endless fandom debate about who bears responsibility for the family's collapse. Christine, Janelle, and Meri have all stated, both on camera and on social media, that they felt emotionally neglected as Kody increasingly spent more time at Robyn's house, especially during the strict COVID-19 rules that effectively isolated the other households. Robyn, meanwhile, has consistently maintained that she never wanted to be the last wife standing, and that she repeatedly begged Kody to repair his relationships with the others. Yet this tell-all moment revealed something new. Robyn has been grieving too. While Christine celebrates her newfound happiness with David, Janelle enjoys her independence, and Meri speaks openly about closing the chapter on Kody, Robyn appears trapped in a limbo of mourning the plural family that no longer exists, while simultaneously being blamed by a significant portion of the audience for its destruction. Social media exploded after the episode aired. The phrase "hope is dangerous" immediately began trending, with fans creating memes, TikTok edits, and long threads analyzing Robyn's tears. Some called it the most authentic moment Robyn has ever had on the show, praising her vulnerability. Others remained skeptical, suggesting the tears were strategic or that she was crying for a family dynamic that only existed favorably for her. Christine Brown herself reacted subtly on Instagram the following day, posting a sunny photo with David and the caption, "Choosing peace over hope that hurts." While she never mentioned Robyn by name, the timing and wording spoke volumes. Longtime Sister Wives therapist Nancy Hunter addressed the moment indirectly in a recent interview, saying, "When a family system as complex as polygamy collapses, every member experiences ambiguous loss. Even the person left holding the bag, as Robyn has been positioned, grieves what was supposed to be." As season 19 continues to air, viewers are seeing flashback scenes of happier times, family vacations, Christmas mornings with all four wives and dozens of children crammed around the table, and the contrast with the present-day fractured reality is stark. Robyn's breakdown serves as perhaps the clearest acknowledgement yet that no one in this story got the ending they originally signed up for when they agreed to let cameras document their plural marriage back in 2010. For now, Robyn and Kody insist they are focusing on their children, Robyn's 3 from a previous marriage whom Kody adopted, plus their 2 shared biological children, Solomon and Ariella, and trying to build a peaceful life. But the pain of what was lost lingers visibly, especially in Robyn's eyes. Hope is dangerous. For words that may define this final chapter of Sister Wives more than any dramatic exit or explosive argument ever could. Whether fans sympathize with Robyn or continue to hold her responsible, one thing is undeniable. After 18 seasons, the Brown family saga has become less about plural marriage and more about the universal ache of dreams that didn't survive reality. And for Robyn Brown, letting go of hope appears to have been the only way to survive the loss. Sister Wives bombshell. Janelle Brown reveals her mother secretly married Kody's father to shield her from polygamy. She thought she was saving me. In one of the most jaw-dropping revelations in Sister Wives history, Janelle Brown has finally opened up about the hidden decades-old marriage between her mother, Cheryl Usher, and Kody Brown's father, Win Brown, a union that began as a desperate attempt to keep Janelle herself out of plural marriage. The explosive detail came during the second part of the season 19 tell-all, when host Suki Krishnan asked Janelle why her mother had been so supportive of her decision to enter polygamy with the Browns despite initially opposing it. What followed was a 10-minute confession that left Kody speechless, Meri wide-eyed, and viewers frantically rewinding to make sure they heard correctly. Janelle began calmly. A lot of people have wondered why my mom ended up living on our property in Lehigh and seemed totally fine with everything. There's a very big piece of the story that has never been told on camera before. She then dropped the bombshell. My mom became my mother-in-law before I ever met Kody. She married Kody's dad, Win Brown, when I was in my early 20s. Gasps could be heard from the studio crew. Kody, who has always described his father's later plural wives in only vague terms, looked stunned. Janelle continued. I was already questioning mainstream Mormonism and reading about fundamentalism. Mom was terrified I was going to run off and join some polygamist group in southern Utah or Mexico. She thought plural marriage was dangerous, that women got abused, that children suffered. She was frantic to stop me. Cheryl Usher, a widowed mother of 4 who had raised her children in the mainstream LDS church after Janelle's father died, took drastic action. Through mutual friends in the fundamentalist community, she was introduced to Win Brown, the patriarch of the Apostolic United Brethren (AUB) and father of 11 children, including a young Kody. Mom's plan, Janelle explained, fighting tears, was to enter the principal herself, become part of a respectable polygamist family, and then steer me away from it by showing me the reality up close. She thought if she was on the inside, she could protect me and talk me out of it. Instead, the exact opposite happened. Cheryl married Win Brown in a spiritual ceremony in 1989 or 1990. Exact date unclear because, Janelle says, they kept it quiet even within the community. She became Win's 3rd living plural wife. Within a year, Cheryl began encouraging Janelle to meet Win's handsome, charismatic son Kody, who was already courting Meri. Janelle laughed through the irony. Mom thought she was infiltrating polygamy to save me from it. Instead, she ended up delivering me straight to the altar. She literally married into the family so she could keep an eye on me, and then watched me become Kody's 2nd wife anyway. Kody, recovering from his initial shock, confirmed the story. I always knew Janelle's mom had married my dad, but I didn't know the why until much later. Dad just said, Cheryl's joining the family, and that was that. Viewers were quick to point out the mind-bending family tree this creates. Janelle's mother Cheryl became Kody's stepmother. When Janelle married Kody, she technically married her own stepbrother. Janelle's children with Kody, Logan, Madison, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, and Savannah are both Cheryl's grandchildren and her step-grandchildren. Kody's younger full and half-siblings through Win are now Janelle's step-siblings and also her brothers and sisters-in-law. Janelle admitted the layered relationship caused occasional awkwardness, especially after when Brown died in 2009. Cheryl continued living in a trailer on the Lehigh property for years, close to the family she had once tried to keep her daughter away from. Mom eventually made peace with it, Janelle said softly. She saw that I was happy, that my kids were okay. She even grew to love the other wives. But she carried guilt until the day she died in 2020 that she had somehow failed to protect me. The revelation has sent shockwaves through the Sister Wives fandom. TikTok and Reddit are flooded with family tree diagrams, old clips of Cheryl cheerfully helping in the Lehigh kitchen, and fans realizing that when Cheryl referred to Kody as "my son" on early seasons, she wasn't just being sweet, she was his legal stepmother in the eyes of their church. Christine Brown, watching from home, reacted on Instagram stories with a simple wide-eyed emoji in the caption. "I knew they got married later, but I had no idea that was the reason." Mind blown. Even Meri, who has been estranged from most of the family, posted a rare comment on a fan page. This explains so much about those early Lehigh years. For Janelle, telling the story publicly for the first time was clearly emotional. "I've carried this for over 30 years, she said. "People always thought my mom was some polygamy cheerleader. Truth is she sacrificed her own beliefs because she loved me and was terrified of losing me to a life she didn't understand. In the end, she became family in every possible way." As the tell-all wrapped, Suki asked the question on everyone's mind. "Do you think your mom ever regretted it?" Janelle smiled through fresh tears. "No. By the time she passed, she told me she was proud of the family we built, all of it. She said, 'I came to keep you out and God kept me in.' That was Mom. She always believed there was a bigger plan." The Brown family saga just added its most unbelievable chapter yet. A mother who married her daughter's future father-in-law in a desperate attempt to stop a plural marriage, and accidentally made that marriage inevitable. Only in the world of Sister Wives. Sister Wives breakthrough. Madison Brush extends olive branch to estranged father Kody Brown. "I'm open to reconciliation, but only if he proves consistency." In a heartfelt twist that has Sister Wives fans buzzing with cautious optimism, Madison "Maddie" Brush, the 30-year-old daughter of Kody and Janelle Brown, has publicly declared she's open to reconciliation with her long-estranged dad. The emotional revelation, aired during the November 30, 2025 episode of TLC's Sister Wives Season 20, marks a potential turning point in the fractured Brown family saga. After years of silence, tears, and pointed accusations of neglect, Maddie's words offer a glimmer of hope amid the ruins of what was once a sprawling plural marriage. But as she made crystal clear, any path forward demands more than words. It requires a pattern of consistency from Kody, the 56-year-old patriarch now left with just one wife, Robyn Brown, and a tangled web of 18 children from 4 relationships. The moment unfolded in a raw confessional-style conversation between Maddie and her mother, Janelle, set against the backdrop of a sunlit North Carolina living room. Janelle, 56, who split from Kody in December 2022 after nearly 3 decades together, had just shared a surprising update. Kody had reached out to her multiple times in recent months. He called on the first anniversary of their son Garrison Brown's tragic suicide in March 2024, as well as what would have been Garrison's 27th birthday in April. "He's like, 'I want to come out to Raleigh and go to dinner with you,'" Janelle recounted to Maddie, her voice laced with skepticism but a hint of curiosity. "I suspect it has something to do with the family and the kids." 93-98 These gestures, small as they were, short neutral check-ins without deep dives into the pain, felt like tentative steps toward mending fences. But Janelle wasn't convinced, and neither was Maddie, who has been no contact with her father for over 2 years. Maddie, a devoted wife to husband Caleb Brush and mother to 4 young children, Axel 8, Evie 6, Josephine 2, and baby Amelia, born just 6 months ago, didn't mince words. Sitting cross-legged on the couch, her eyes welling up as she cradled a mug of tea, she laid out her terms with the poise of someone who spent years processing betrayal. "I am open to reconciliation and forgiveness and closure," she said, her voice steady but soft, echoing the vulnerability that has endeared her to fans since her on-screen wedding in 2016. But if he ever wanted to be let back into our lives, there would need to be a pattern of consistency. It was a line that cut through the episode's tension like a knife, simple, profound, and a direct challenge to Kody's history of sporadic outreach followed by radio silence. For context, Maddie's estrangement isn't a recent rift. It's the culmination of a slow-burning family implosion documented across 19 seasons of Sister Wives. Born on November 3, 1995, as the second child of Kody and Janelle's six-kid brood, which also includes Logan, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, and Savannah, Maddie grew up in the chaos of plural marriage. The Browns' nomadic life, from cramped trailers in Lehi, Utah, to the high-desert drama of Flagstaff, Arizona, meant holidays were mega-events with dozens of siblings, but emotional bandwidth was often stretched thin. As Kody's favoritism toward Robyn's household became glaringly apparent, especially during his draconian COVID-19 isolation rules in 2020 that pitted family units against each other, Maddie found herself mediating like a pint-sized diplomat. "I poured everything into keeping the family together," Maddie confessed in a September 28, 2025, episode confessional, tears streaming as she sat beside Caleb, her rock of nearly a decade. 1991, hosting holidays, smoothing over arguments, but it was never enough. The breaking point came in late 2022, shortly after Janelle's separation announcement. Kody, in a now infamous on-camera rant, blamed the ex-wives for influencing the kids against him, a narrative that felt like gaslighting to Maddie. She went fully no contact, even skipping Kody in updates about her pregnancies, including the birth of her twins, Archer and Ace, and now Amelia. "He hasn't shown interest in my life for years," she admitted earlier in the season, her voice cracking with the weight of unmet expectations. 7-34 in one gut-wrenching moment, she revealed not telling him about Josephine's baptism in 2024, citing scheduling conflicts that insiders whispered were just excuses to avoid the ex-wife drama. Kody's side of the story, as glimpsed in the episode, paints him as a man awakening from denial. Now monogamous by circumstance, with Christine remarried to David Woolley in 2023, Meri fully embracing single life in her Vermont B&B, and Janelle thriving in her RV adventures, Kody has launched what TLC teasingly calls his apology tour. The multi-episode arc, kicking off with his North Carolina visit to Janelle, shows him extending olive branches left and right. "Families can be apart but still have cohesion," he told cameras. His trademark intensity softened by what looked like genuine remorse. 82 See at 74, he admitted to reaching out to every one of my children multiple times, a claim that rang hollow for many after Leon Brown's explosive November 2025 Instagram takedown accusing Kody of ghosting at Garrison's funeral. 268 See it if yet, with Maddie, there's a flicker of possibility. Janelle noted Kody's calls felt cordial, not performative, and Maddie, ever the pragmatist, is willing to test the waters, but only if actions match the apologies. EntertainmentNow.com. The fandom reaction has been a whirlwind of guarded hope and sharp analysis. On X, formerly Twitter, #MaddieReconciliation trended briefly on December 1st, with fans like at E! News amplifying the clip. Sister Wives star Kody Brown's estranged daughter Madison Brush said she's open to reconciliation and forgiveness after not speaking for years. 196 C2B podcast like the Hoppe Hour dissected the scene, with host Ryan Hoppe calling it a rare crack in the Brown armor, but Kody better bring his A game. 109500 Reddits r/ sisterwives exploded with threads. Maddie's boundaries are queen behavior, one top comment read, racking up 2K upvotes, while skeptics warned, "We've seen Kody's consistency. It's about as reliable as his hairline." TikTok edits juxtaposed Maddie's poised delivery with old clips of Kody's rants, set to Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero for that extra sting of irony. This isn't just Maddie's story, it's a microcosm of the Brown daughters' collective quiet fury. While brothers like Gabe and Hunter have been vocal about Kody's COVID-era absenteeism, the girls, including Christine's Michael T. and Isabel, who underwent painful scoliosis surgery without his support, have internalized the hurt. 82F54 Isabel, 22, once sobbed on camera about feeling unprioritized, and Michael T., 28, has leaked texts bemoaning her exhaustion from failed family interventions. Even Meri's Mariah, 30, a vocal LGBTQ+ advocate alongside Leon, has gone no contact after Kody dismissed her coming out as a phase in 2014. Savannah, Janelle's 18-year-old, remains conflicted, texting friends that Maddie's stance hits too close, but she's not ready to sever ties completely. 4C Robyn's young Ariella, 9 innocently asked on a tease therapy segment, "Why don't the big kids like you anymore?" A child's question that pierced Kody like shrapnel. Experts in family dynamics like those quoted in OK! Magazine frame this as ambiguous loss, grieving a living parent who's emotionally MIA. 7 David from Meri, a Utah State University alum who traded the family's fundamentalist roots for a stable suburban life in Raleigh. Consistency means showing up for the grandkids' soccer games, not just crisis calls. "I'm still learning not to be disappointed," she reflected in September, acknowledging her own role in the distance, perhaps holding grudges too tightly, or expecting too much from a man shaped by Apostolic United Brethren dogma. 4, but as Janelle put it, "I've mourned that part of our life," signaling no romantic reconciliation on her end, just a pragmatic co-parenting truce. 3157E. As Sister Wives hurtles toward its teased 2026 finale, Kody's tour continues, a two-parter with Christine in December then Meri. Will Maddie's conditions ripple outward, inspiring her siblings? Or will Kody's pattern of half measures like his stinky body rom-com attempts with Robyn doom another bridge? Fans speculate wildly, but one thing's clear. In a family built on faith, fame, and fractured loyalties, reconciliation isn't a fairy tale ending. It's earned one consistent step at a time. Sister Wives shocker. Kody Brown faces brutal backlash from son Leon, but what about his daughter's silent fury? In the ever-tumultuous world of Sister Wives, where family bonds have frayed like an old prayer shawl, Kody Brown is once again under fire. This time it's not from one of his ex-wives, Christine, Janelle, or Meri, but from his own flesh and blood. Leon Brown, Kody's 28-year-old transgender child from his marriage to Meri, unleashed a scathing social media tirade that has left fans reeling and reignited debates about the polygamist's role as a father. Calling Kody a liar and a joke of a father, Leon's words cut deep, exposing raw wounds from years of estrangement. But amid the chaos, a burning question lingers. How do Kody's daughters really feel? Are they echoing Leon's rage, or is there a quieter storm brewing beneath the surface? The drama unfolded in the wake of the November 23, 2025, episode of Sister Wives Season 19, where Kody, now 56 and monogamously married to Robyn, tearfully confessed his struggles with his 17 adult children out of 18 total. Sitting with Robyn in their Flagstaff, Arizona home, Kody lamented the disappointing state of his relationships, claiming he'd reached out to every one of my children and multiple times. He painted a picture of a father desperately trying to mend fences, even musing about therapy to put my feelings aside and invite them to step into a space where we can communicate safely and lovingly. It was a vulnerable moment, or so it seemed, punctuated by Kody's sobs over lost time with his late son Garrison, who tragically died by suicide in March 2024 at age 25. But Leon, who came out as transgender in 2022 and has largely stayed off social media since, wasn't buying it. Breaking a year-long hiatus on Instagram stories on November 25th, Leon fired back with unfiltered fury. "There's a ridiculous video of my father circulating where he says he reaches out to his children. Let me be so f***ing clear. I have not heard from that man since my brother killed himself. Kody blatantly blew me off at Garrison's funeral. He is a liar. He is a joke of a father. That's all." Post, which garnered thousands of shares and likes within hours, painted a starkly different portrait of Kody, one of neglect and deception rather than redemption. Leon, a Westminster College graduate now living in Utah, didn't hold back on the specifics. Garrison's funeral, held in Flagstaff shortly after his death, was meant to be a time of collective mourning for the Brown clan. Yet, according to Leon, Kody, ever the patriarch with his special forces background and flair for dramatic declarations, treated it like just another family obligation. "He showed up, said a few words, and then ghosted everyone," Leon implied in follow-up clarifications to fans via DMs, as reported by outlets like People and Daily Mail. This wasn't a one-off slight, it echoed long-standing grievances. Leon has previously spoken about Kody's discomfort with their transition, including awkward family dynamics during COVID-19 when Kody's strict rules isolated households, leaving many kids feeling like outsiders in their own family. The backlash was swift and multifaceted. Social media erupted with #KodyLiar trending on X, formerly Twitter, where fans dissected old clips from the show showing Kody prioritizing Robyn's household over others. "Leon just said what we've all been thinking for seasons," tweeted one viewer, while another shared a meme of Kody's tearful confessional captioned, "Actions, words." Even ex-wife Christine, now happily remarried to David Woolley and promoting her memoir Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom, weighed in during a podcast appearance. "I'm just exhausted and so tired of being blamed for how his kids feel about him. It's his responsibility and not mine," she said, pushing back against Robyn's on-air suggestion that the ex-wives were influencing the children's hurt feelings. 1572771 Janelle echoed the sentiment, revealing that her daughter Maddie Brush, 30, hasn't spoken to Kody in 2 to 3 years and didn't even tell him about her fourth child's birth earlier this year. 7 Fafi. And that's where the daughters come in. While Leon's blast was public and explosive, Kody's 6 daughters, Meri's Mariah, 30, Janelle's Madison, 30, and Savannah, 18, Christine's Aspen, 29, Michael T, 28, and Isabel, 22, and Robyn's Ariella, 9, represent a more nuanced, often silent front in this family feud. Unlike the sons, like Gabe, 24, who moved out after clashing with Kody over COVID rules, the daughters have been quieter, but recent leaks and interviews suggest their feelings run just as deep, and perhaps even more painfully layered. Take Madison Brush, Janelle's eldest daughter and a mother of 4. In a tearful Sister Wives confessional aired last month, Maddie admitted she didn't see the need to loop Kody in on her pregnancy because he hasn't shown interest in my life for years. Janelle elaborated in an Us Weekly interview. "Maddie gave everything to keep the family together, hosting holidays, mediating arguments, but it was never enough. Now she's done, and that pent-up anger is real." 52005 sources close to the family tell Reality T that Maddie views Kody's recent outreach claims as gaslighting, especially after he skipped her youngest's baptism in 2024, citing scheduling conflicts that insiders say were code for avoiding ex-wife drama. Christine's daughters paint an equally grim picture. Michael T. Padron, 28, who welcomed her 3rd child in July 2025, has been vocal in private family group chats, leaked via TikTok fan accounts, about her exhaustion from trying to get everyone back together. "I poured my heart into it, but Dad's efforts always felt performative," she reportedly texted siblings after Leon's post. Her sister Isabel, 22, who underwent emergency back surgery in 2021, has a particularly raw grudge. Kody refused to travel with her due to pandemic fears, leaving her to sob on camera about feeling unprioritized. If 42-4 family first was Kody's mantra, Isabel recalled bitterly in a recent Instagram live, "But when I needed him most, fear won." Aspen, the eldest at 29 and now living in Utah with her husband, has gone fully no contact, per Christine's memoir excerpts, blocking Kody on all platforms after a heated 2023 argument over his blame game toward the moms. Even Meri's daughter Mariah, 30, a lawyer in Washington, D.C., has distanced herself. Though supportive of Leon's transition, the two are close allies in LGBTQ+ advocacy, Mariah's feelings toward Kody soured during the show's early seasons when he dismissed her coming out as gay in 2014 as a phase. In a rare 2025 Variety profile, she described their bond as fractured beyond repair, focusing instead on her stable life with partner Audrey. Savannah, Janelle's youngest at 18 and still navigating high school, is the wild card, living semi-independently in Flagstaff but reportedly conflicted, texting friends, as per the blast, that Leon's words hit too close to home, but she's not ready to burn that bridge yet. FF3EB. Robyn's young daughter Ariella, at just 9, is largely shielded from the fray, but even she has innocently echoed the divide. During a family therapy snippet teased for next week's episode, Ariella asks Kody, "Why don't the big kids like you anymore?" A gut punch that left him speechless. This collective daughter's discontent isn't just anecdotal, it's a thread woven through 18 seasons of Sister Wives. From the Lehigh, Utah days of cramped trailers and shared holidays to the post-plural marriage fallout, Kody's favoritism toward Robyn's household, exacerbated by his COVID isolation tactics, left many daughters feeling like second-class family members. Therapists like those consulted by OK! Magazine describe it as ambiguous loss, the grief of a father who's physically present but emotionally absent. 9BA7A2, the daughters carry it differently, less explosive, more internalized, one expert noted. But Leon's voice is giving them permission to speak their truth. As Sister Wives barrels toward its potential finale, TLC has hinted at a 2026 wrap-up. Kody's team is scrambling. Insiders tell Perez Hilton that he's devastated by Leon's post and plans a public response video, but exes like Meri, who liked Leon's story before it vanished, are urging him to listen, not defend. 3081 of fans, meanwhile, are divided. Some pity Kody's tough love approach rooted in fundamentalist Mormonism, while others see a pattern of accountability dodging that's cost him dearly. In the end, Leon's blast may be the catalyst for the daughters to break their silence. As one anonymous Brown daughter told 2Fab, "We've been polite too long. It's time Dad hears from all of us." D056. Whether that leads to healing or further fracture, one thing's clear. The Brown family legacy is no longer about plural marriage, it's about the painful unraveling of paternal bonds. And with daughters like Maddie, Isabel, and Michaelty holding the mirror, Kody can't look away forever.